All right, I guess we clocked in. Damn, I was pretty fast. I didn't even notice that I did that. But anyway, um, ooh, that kind of caught me off guard. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer. And essentially, as a spiritual healer, what I do pretty much is that I help you to become Christ like, to attain your highest level of consciousness. Now, in this channel here, to give is to receive, what I do is that I use what I call the power of words, to help you to enhance or to attain your highest level of consciousness. Now, when I'm talking about the power of words, what I'm referring to, it's not a meaning of a word. You know how most people tell you words are powerful? There's a lot of power in your words, and I mean, not to knock it. I mean, okay. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm really talking about here is something totally different. We're talking about how things are being said. Because when you truly think about it, all of us, the true speakers, that's why we use rhyme when we talk. We understand that, it would be easier for you to remember it. Or even if you use a certain rhymes too, it allows you to communicate somehow your message a lot quicker. Because there's a whole other aspect that comes with that. When you put your words or you speak a certain way, it's a lot more powerful. And that's what I call the power of words. And I came to understand when you're looking at poetry, quotes, proverbs, those are a lot of statements. Now they are all different respectively. However, the one thing they all have in common is that how they are being put together. So the true power of words, it isn't truly a meaning of a word, but it's how, you saying what you're saying. That's why you'll notice certain quotes could automatically, you could feel motivated by listening to certain quotes. So then now you're going to have to ask yourself, how? Well, depending on the nature of the quote in itself, you can either be inspired by it, motivated by it, or be enlightened by it. But the one thing for sure is that it will somehow get to you. So those quotes, there's certain things like it bypass your conscious mind automatically. And you truly get to enjoy the power of words because you get to experience how the words are acting on you. And that's truly the power of words. And that's what you see in those quotes, those proverbs, those, let's just say, old saying. They go by so many different ways. Because the number one thing that they do is that they bypass your conscious mind. So meaning they don't need your fucking permission. It's almost like when I do this, it's the fucking arrow. It will just creep up on you. And that's what you see sometimes when you are, let's just say, if you're reading a certain quote and then you automatically feel a certain way. And you're like, it hits you a certain way. Because what that does, it bypasses your conscious mind. It pretty much captivates your mind without, your permission. And also make you a lot more receptive now. And then now you like, oh, okay. So now you're able to dig even deeper into what's being said. So pretty much that's what I do here. And here's another thing about those quotes too, or proverbs, whatever the fuck, is that the wealth of wisdom that is pretty much locked, that is fully loaded in those messages. It's just insane. And like I always tell people, there's no shortcut. But if there is a shortcut, that would probably be your only shortcut. In terms of, because obviously it bypassed your consciousness, but also from that wealth of wisdom, you're able to learn or have the experience of, or of certain experiences that you didn't have to necessarily experience. It's almost like that wisdom gets you ready. I mean, you're still gonna have to experience the experience. I mean, that's the meaning of the experience. But you'll be more hands on as you're going through the fucking experience. So again, that goes to show you how, when we're talking about the power of words. I mean, that to me is the power of words. And not to mention, I mean, when you fully grasp certain things and how those words are truly fucking you up, it's just unbelievable. Like, I get to see when you hear people go like, "Go on, preach on, pastor." Oh, I know that's right. It's how they are reacting to that word. Now, that's the power of words. It could have been something, let's just say the pastor said, or whomever, that got you to react a certain way based on how they said it, not the meaning of an objective. I mean, not the objective meaning of a word, but how all of them are being put together, and how the beauty of it comes now. I mean, the magic, literally, the magic in it becomes when now you saying it. But anyway, so that's pretty much what we do here, and that's how we do it. And being a spiritual healer, the goal here is to help you to elevate. So, now that we know what we do here, let's get to the meat and the potatoes. Now, I got to salute whoever's coming back. If you're coming back, you know what I'm saying, welcome back. And by the way, guys, check out my other channel. We have a lot of other content, that can definitely add on some values to you, man. And that's going to make you look good out there. Because truly, as a spiritual healer, truly what I do, I'll make you look good. I help you to find your treasure, your essence, who you are. And we simply do this by holding what we called, or what the Buddhists called, the mirror of wisdom, for you to see yourself. Anyway, so let's get into it. You see the title, you already know what's up. Now, as a disclaimer, in fact, I'm glad that I'm saying this, because, those of you who knows, sometimes I always, how can I say this? You may think that, maybe I have an issue with the Bible. That's what I'm trying to say. So, I'm glad that I'm going to be talking about this, but most importantly, the disclaimer truly is that, like I always tell people, wisdom is wisdom regardless of where it comes from. The truth out of a 6 or 7 year old kid is still the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make it any less true because a kid said it. So I'm saying that to say, truly, when it comes down to those quotes, and if you truly fully understand how I describe the power of the words to you, I mean, how do I refrain myself from learning more, or to elevate? So that's why a lot of my quotes, they come from, some of them comes from voodoo. Others, in fact, the one that we're going to be talking about tonight is from the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I get quotes from the Sufis, the Gnostics, whoever the fuck. Doesn't matter. Because wisdom is wisdom, regardless of where it comes from. But anyway, so that was a disclaimer. So now let's get to what we're here to talk about. So now, as you guys see, you know what? Let me. I don't even remember the whole thing. Give me a second here. There you go. So unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and the Pharisees, you'll never enter the kingdom of God. Oh my God. Give me a second. You know, this is. I mean, I guess once you know it, you know it. But if you don't know or understand the how deep this is, then you probably would never understand it. You're gonna have to go beyond what is being said for you to understand it. So let's get into it. Unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and the Pharisees, then you'll never enter the kingdom of God. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that are being said here, guys. First of all, understand this, right? And this is the beauty too about those statements, because of the way they are structured. Now you're able to see this is Jesus telling you now, your righteousness got to be more righteous than their righteousness. So that alone, the way he even said that, I mean, don't you think righteousness is righteousness? How can you be any more righteous than being righteous? Do you see what I'm saying? So it's being said a certain way for you to really go beyond what is being said, but also for you to grasp, a lot more. I mean, the thing about the power of words too that I forgot to mention, it's like it's so magical. It talks to you in ways that if I were trying to explain something to you directly, I mean, it's not the same. That is almost like you automatically kind of get it. It's almost like somehow the wisdom was transferred from one place into your own fucking brain. You're like, oh, I got it. Those aha moments. And by the way, this is why you need to invest in those quotes. Do it for yourself. And all of them. Don't matter. Do not limit yourself. And that's also another way to cultivate wisdom in you too. What you have around you become you. So again, this is all part of self-mastery. So when you understand these things, that's why us true spiritual healers or true magician or alchemist, we understand certain things and how to elevate our mind. Because your true elevation, just like I was saying, that's why you have to open up your third eye. You do it because you're making yourself becoming more receptive to now have a lot more of those aha moments. Because it's those aha moments truly that helps you to elevate. But anyway, I'm not sure who needed to hear that. Sometimes spirit just do what it does. But anyway, let's get back to the whole conversation. But I mean, it's all connected too. Because we were talking about the power of words and seeing how he said, until your righteousness exceed that of them. So he's saying that they're righteous. But most importantly, he's also referring to their type of righteousness. Which is what? Their righteousness is technically out in the open. Their righteousness pretty much is other people's validation. And not to mention that he was talking about the scribes and the Pharisees. If you understand that, that would be your modern day, let's just say, Bill Cosby's, your modern day T.D. Jakes. Although I don't know much about this guy, but what I'm trying to say is the people that other people look up to due to, I don't know, because they go to church. You see what I'm saying? Just like if you understand the social political bullshit even around us now, like it's almost like when people go to church, like if you go on a week to church every Sunday, it's almost considered as being a good person. That right there, though, that is the type of righteousness that the scribes and the Pharisees have. I mean, there isn't truly a difference between what you call, society norms with the church. It's pretty much the same infrastructure, to be honest. They are engineered the same way. They just talk about different things because neither one of them, although one may talk about God, the other one may seem not to talk about God. But guess what? Both of them do. They don't tell you about you. That's why it doesn't matter. And that's why too the church is no better than fucking society, and vice versa. Although the church loved to talk about society, how people are going to party and all that shit, those worldly stuff. But because they're not living it, it's not in them. These people are always gonna be. The inconsistency in these people will always show. That's why your pastors or these people, they'll fucking your little boys or girl, whatever the fuck. Because their type of righteousness is based on behavior instead of who they are. And when your righteousness is based on your behavior, then now you are seeking other people's validation. Look at the way he acts. He doesn't say these words. He doesn't say nigga. He says nigga. Whatever the fuck. Those kinds of bullshit. That's why when you truly understand that, and I do have a recording that's coming up, shortly for you guys. It's gonna be on my other channel, which is simply called Lespri, where I'm gonna be talking about the idea of hell and heaven is the very idea that got you in hell. You know what I'm saying? But that requires for you to understand how you operate. Because knowledge can either elevate you, but it can also destroy you too. Not having, because, those people, those Pharisees, they do have knowledge too. And just so you guys know too, the Pharisees that Jesus was talking about, those scribes, they were religious leaders. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why when I tell people, man, you can't look at Jesus from a fucking historical perspective. And even if you do, it should take you out of that historical perspective. Then you should look at him as a fucking energy. And then you got to see that energy in you. None of us, Jesus was not known because, let's just say, he didn't steal, although he didn't do these things. Or because he didn't fuck. And by the way, too, just so you guys know, I'm not saying you should live for you to be a real person. You shouldn't. In fact, what I'm truly saying is, and you know what? Let me just slow it down because I don't want to get too way ahead of myself here. I'm a little bit excited. So, no, Jesus was not known for any of that shit. He was known because of what he was saying. Because of who he was. The things that he was talking about, he was doing these things. Teaching you how to love yourself and love your enemies. So, in so many words, that's why he was telling you the kingdom of God is within. Until your righteousness exceed that of theirs. Which is what? The validation. The people pleasing. The social political bullshit. Which really comes down to what? To your behavior. That's why the people, and I always tell you guys this too, man. Ultimately, you're gonna come down to two type of knowledge. It's two trees. It's the tree of good and evil, and then the tree of life. What I'm trying to say by this is the good and evil. What you have is hell and heaven. Those duality that we always talk about, good and evil. And then the tree of life now is the understanding of polarity, pretty much, which pretty much tells you, you know what, something good can be bad, bro, and something bad can also be good. Just because you going through pain, that doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna grow some muscle, baby. Yeah, shout out to my man K, man. You already know, baby. You know what I'm saying? You growing some muscle, baby. Get your blessings, man. Earn your stripes. You're gonna be walking like a whole fucking general out there, man. You go get them. You hear me? But anyway, yeah. So those were what you call those society people who was well admired and known, as great behavior instructors. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why you got to look at it from. I got something very. Okay, think about it this way. The Bible, before I even get into the Bible, right? When you guys are watching, let's just say, certain commercials. If I'm doing a commercial for this, right? The drink that I'm drinking, or even the cup. Well, depending on how I'm looking for you to look at this. But the bottom line of what I'm trying to say is, when you're looking at a commercial, right? If you're looking at Shaq or you're looking at, let's just say, Snoop Dogg, like the commercial that those guys are doing, they always like, this is for me. This is me in television now, and then I'm being filmed, and you're looking at me. I'm telling you, okay, let's just say I'm doing this for this watch here. You know what I'm saying? Then I could dress a certain way, but most importantly, the person doing the commercial with either the product or whatever the fuck that they're doing, they're showing you their experience. Now, if this was, let's just say, some expensive shit, or this is my line of clothes, you know what I'm saying? I would be wearing it, showing you how good I look when I wear this. This is what this represents. You understand what I'm saying? When they have models to wear certain clothes, it's to make, then now you want to buy it. That is the underline. This is how you operate. That's why the Bible is there. It's a guidance for you. The Jesus story is a reflection. Now, where a lot of you guys went left is because you don't understand this is reflecting you. Just like that commercial, we understand we got to put it to, how else would I tell you about God? You got to see another man that just like you that experiences it. And then as is doing so, then now you got to see the divine in him. When Jesus telling you how to love one another, it was those divine qualities that was already inside of him that he had adopted now that he was speaking of. That's why anybody who let's just say, who embodied that same level of understanding, we all gonna speak the same. And the similarity in all of us speaking, and the reason why we all speak the same, because we embody the same spirit. Although we may say it differently, but you'll see, like we speak a certain way. And by the way, just so you guys know too, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this is on the house. That's what it means. Like when you get a little piece of Christ and then you become that. It's energetic level. That's what this is referring to. Until you start looking at it from a energetic perspective, you'll never enter the kingdom of God. So now, as we're delving more into this, so you can see how deep that shit is already. Because now, the motion picture, or not the motion picture, but the idea that, he talks about the scribes and the Pharisees. You got to understand what they represent. Now, for you to fully understand what he's talking about righteousness, and why, until your righteousness exceed that, you'll never enter the kingdom of God. Because the kingdom of God obviously is within. So this is why true ethical people, true righteousness, we don't look to see who's looking at us. And we don't walk around to be like, yo, I'm a good person. Love me. I'm a very ethical person. We don't say that kind of shit. And the reason why we don't even say it, because we're living in it. It's our life. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have this saying in Haiti where we say, salt doesn't tell you that I'm salty. But yet it does. Technically, what this is saying is you're going to be who you are, bro. You are who you are. So when the reason why we know Jesus is even a part of this conversation, it was because of who he was, not because of his behavior. Not because he didn't say nigger, or he did say nigger. What the fuck is the difference any fucking way? Because not saying it doesn't make you any smarter, or saying it doesn't make you any smarter neither. What the fuck is the difference? You see what I'm saying? But now, if you're going to be behavior based, just like the scribe and the Pharisees, and that's what society's all about. You got to act a certain way to maintain this fucking image, but not necessarily you becoming the message. And guess what? Because now you have not become the message. Because, it all makes sense. Because you didn't choose you. Because the kingdom of God is within. So the minute you don't choose you, that's when you automatically lost. It's a given loss. Like on all levels. Think about it. Now, even, bro, this is what we all do anyway. Don't you brush your teeth in the morning? Who the fuck you brushing the teeth for? It's your teeth, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you eat, you do all that shit. That's why, I just had this, short that I released not too long ago, where I was talking about being grounded. You know what I'm saying? But most importantly, what I was saying is, if you're saying that you love yourself, it can't just be dick and pussy. Meaning, it can't just be bread and wine. Meaning, it just can't be just you partying. Or you taking yourself out to dine, which is good, as you should. You know what I'm saying? But truly loving you, man, there's layers to you. It can't just be, for you to thrive, you gotta feed your mind. There's no other way around it. So I'm saying that to say, see, that's why you have to embrace you. Because embracing you, this is when you win. You get to see other people for who they are. Because now you're not projecting yourself, meaning you're not being delusional. Because when you don't grasp you, and these are all facts. This is, like I always tell people, man, this is a practical matter. That's why spirituality, when people don't understand how big spirituality is you, or how much spirituality is a representation of you, you always feel like it's outside of you. And as a result, you act as such. As a man thinketh, so he is. That's why we all say life is what you make it. So your subjectivity is actually your reality. I mean, your way of thinking, what you think is just an idea. It's just your ways of seeing things. Well, it's playing out in your reality. And that goes for everybody. That's why the type of shit that I talk about here, it's not about your opinion. It's not about, sounding smart. It's not about, what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it is knowledge, but yeah, man, it's you. That's why I'm holding that wisdom, that mirror of wisdom for you. But anyway, going back to the whole statement, I mean, there's so much to be said. But again, it's all, I mean, as we're picking this thing apart, I mean, you've seen how deep the shit goes. Even to talk about the Pharisees, well, what the fuck does that mean? What they represent. And if you understand that, guess what? The same, it is nothing new, there's nothing new under the sun. Meanwhile, everything is new. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? I mean, that's why the truth is always going to be the truth, man. So going back to the whole commercial thing, I feel like my spirit is telling me to talk on that a little bit more. I don't know who needs to hear it, but anyway. Going back to that commercial, and this is how these things work. And not to give it away too much, I would, hope that you guys check out my other channel in terms of, I mean, there's wealth of wisdom too, man. Listen, get out there and look good, baby. That's what we do, man. Everything we touch, we bless. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I am my message, baby. Saying we walk around giving blessings around, man. That's why we understand, like, when you see people who are so mad, and it's like, oh, man. So, man, it is what it is, huh? I guess so. But anyway, then going back to the whole commercial thing, that's how, like, listen. I'm not gonna say this. I'm not gonna say this. No. No, sir. No, ma'am. But anyway, let me just skip this real quick, right? Going back to the commercial thing, this is why, being a leader, right? That image that you actually see. It's the narrative. It's all about the narrative. It's the story. So again, knowledge can open up your eyes, but it can also fuck you up too, man. Because you can also use it to blind other people. Oh yeah. Or you could do what I'm doing here, which is giving sight to the blinds. But anyway. I mean, I'm still thinking about the download that I just got, but I can't share it. I mean, it's kind of deep, but it's all for me though. Get yours. This for me, motherfucker. Get yours. And now, and here's the thing too, and this is what I love about this type of knowledge too. It's rewarding in itself because it's self-knowledge. I mean, that's the type of water that once you drink it, listen, you'll never go thirsty again. Because that water, it creates more water in you. Do you see what I'm saying? Whereas if I was just talking about some other shit, You know what I'm saying? That's not as nourishing as this is, right? I mean, it would just be a fucking information that I'm sharing. But because of the nature of this information, it's esoteric knowledge. It's dealing with your inner being. Oh man, like listen, as I'm sharing it with you, it's almost like I'm talking to myself too. And this is where you know what I'm saying. But anyway, without giving you too much details, but it's fucking unbelievable. It's incredible. Your righteousness, you gotta exceed. I mean, going back again, you know, even that comparison, the way it was put together, like he's not saying they're not righteous, but your righteousness gotta be better than that. You know what I'm saying? And again, and this is the beauty of us too. We admire everything that is good. We're just trying to get you to be better. And being better doesn't mean suppressing what is good. Oh no, you're just better. And when you better, shit. I, what's good doesn't even matter because you better. Oh my God. Oh, our God. I mean, shit. Well, I'm sharing God with you. You know what I'm saying? But again, and even when we're talking about God too, this is your personal experience. That's why you got to share your testimony. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing here. This is my testimony, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Being my life is my testimony. Meaning, and when you understand that, that's when you are in alignment with you. But anyway, I'm a little bit excited. Now, going back to the whole comparison that Jesus was saying, that was to get you to acknowledge the differences. That was to get you to acknowledge those two different type of righteousness. This is this type of righteousness, and then what I'm telling you now is another type of righteousness. And this is where this type of consciousness, that's what you need to enter the kingdom of God. I mean, if God is within you, then, you know what I'm saying? Is it mathing for you? Is it making sense? That's why you gotta go inward. But as you are the one doing everything for yourself, then now when you become wise, you understand that in addition to you brushing your teeth, fucking, eating, shading, and doing everything else that you do, then now you also understand, you know what? There's another aspect of me that has to be fed. I then now have to open up my third eye. Then now you understand by you doing that, what that means simply is that you become more receptive to aha moments, to certain downloads or certain information that would just fuck you up like, ooh, okay, bam. Because your true elevation is going to come from those type of knowledge, not how you behave. And again, the people who talks about behaviors, they mastered the art of, it's technically, it comes down to how you should act in public. But but not who you should be in public. And the reason why you got to understand the differences between those two is because even when you're looking at the scribe and the Pharisees, they are behavior based. Then what Jesus was telling you or sharing with you is it has to do with your essence. Love. Your essence. Open yourself up. Wisdom. Love your enemies. Or forgive your enemies. Whatever the fuck, however the fuck he said it. All of that It's for you to elevate, not just to say it because it feels good to say it. Oh, since we're talking about forgiveness, we're talking about love. Like, here's something else too. Nah, man. There's a lot of tough love, nigga. You want to talk about love? Well, look at all the people that God loved in your Bible, nigga. Who were they? The Job motherfuckers. Your Abraham motherfuckers. Your Moses motherfuckers. This is all tough love, baby. And even Jesus, nigga. Jesus was the toughest love of them all. Because with those other ones, it was God doing that to you or allowing it to happen to you. Then now with Jesus, now this is God killing his own son. What is this telling you? Self-sacrifice, baby. There was a line in The Prestige by Christopher Nolan where I think the guy Alfred was actually learning. He was sent by this other guy, to learn about. There was a Chinese dude that was in town, and he was doing some magic trick. So the other guy sent him and said, "Okay, try to figure it out. Go out there and tell me, and let me know if you figure it out." And this motherfucker, from the moment he saw it, he said, "This is the trick right there." It was the self-sacrifice, the things that you do every day to be you. And this is what a lot of you motherfuckers, and just like if you understand the commercial example, if God could do this to Jesus, and that's what's going to happen to you for your elevation, motherfucker. And within that process, then you have to learn how to deal with pain. Because now you understand, for you to elevate, for you to increase your consciousness, you need a little bit of pain. That's when now you realize, wait a minute, this was bad, but I learned from it. So how bad was it? Do you see what I'm saying? And when you're looking at it from that perspective, it's almost like it's going to be a struggle for you to see how bad it was. You know what I'm saying? Whereas now, if you're looking, oh, that shit was fucked up. Already, you don't even see the lesson in it. And this is what the Buddhists are saying when they're talking about the art of suffering. They say suffering is an option. But pain is not. It happens, it happens. Heal yourself, motherfucker. Get better. But not just that, but also when you understand our nature here, every single one of us, we get better by practice, man. I don't give a fuck. That's why Kobe Bryant was telling you what? Don't give up. Keep going. See, that's why when you're afraid of making mistakes, it's almost like I'm telling people, like, what reality are you living? Like, you living in your mind. But I also understand the psychological aspect that it takes for you not to want to be you. Because you don't embrace your flaws. And by the way, until you embrace your flaws, nobody can use it against you. There's some motherfucker that says that shit, but that shit is dope. That's when you know who you are. Like that's why for me, I'll give you a perfect example. The fuck? Like, what would I look like? Or what would I even be like? Do you see the difference? What would I be like? Not to be me. But not just that. You choose not to be you now. Okay, is it something better? It's never anything better. There's nothing better than you. Than you choosing you. Oh shit. There's nothing better than you choosing you. There's nothing better. In fact, I think you lose the minute you gave up on you. That was your loss right there. Then everything else that you're going through, you're thinking that's what the issue is. No, you're looking at where you're looking at where you where you actually on the ground, but you don't realize where you fell. There was something slippery. Like you're looking at you on the ground, but you didn't see how you got here. How you got here, that's when you have to understand the psychological aspect of you not being you. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you like. You have no determination. Because your true determination is going to come from you. And when you find the thing that you love, nigga, ain't nothing stopping you. I don't give a fuck what it is. Like for me, this is my shit. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You would have to kill me, and you can't kill me. You know what I'm saying? So meaning, you may not see me, let's just say a week from now. Nigga, I'm coming back. You may not see me a day from now. This is my work. This is my essence. And that's why anybody, when you step against my essence, whoo, good luck. You know what I'm saying? Let's just see how well you do. Let's see how well you're doing. And I don't know. You tell me how good I'm doing. But anyway, so now going back to the whole, this is how deep this shit was. This shit is. Because even that saying right there goes beyond time. Because you are experiencing that even now. What you call those scribes and Pharisees, well, shit. Look around you. You know, that's why you have to understand the differences in the food that you're eating. Are you eating from the tree of life? Or are you eating from the tree of good and evil? Those two destinations, they will take you in different places. Good and evil, it's a constant fight. You don't see the good in good, and good don't you and if you good, you don't see if you good in that world, it's almost like if you good, you don't see the good in bad, and if you bad, you don't see the bad in good. You know what I'm saying? Whereas when you get this, grasp the full picture, meaning, you're not either left or right, you embrace both of it, both sides of it, then now you could see the true flaws in both of them. But also you could see the best in both of them. At that moment, what's taking place in you is that you for both of them, and you're not against none of them. Do you understand? I'm not repeating myself, man. I'm a grown man. I do what I want, bitch. Rewind the shit, motherfucker. Do you see what I'm saying? This is why you also have to understand the spiritual laws. But anyway, this is all of that. It's within that little statement. Which is not even little, but I'm just saying that to say, because I've heard so many people talk about that too. And what they're truly saying is how hypocritical those people are. Which is kind of that. But the underlying, the layers in it though, it's more than that. How do you expect someone not to be hypocritical who have not chosen who they are? You always gonna be a fucking hypocrite when you don't choose you. The fuck? I mean, shit. That's just the way it is. That's how it works. So a lot of people talk about it, but they just scratch the surface, and there's a lot more in it. When I hear those pastors used to talk about the scribes and the Pharisees back then, they never look at themselves as being those motherfuckers. It's almost like they want to claim that the Jesus that they're serving is so different that the world don't accept them. Not really. Not really. The government works with you. Everybody's sustaining you. They go by what you say. I mean, that's how you're able to isn't that mind control? But understand this, it's based on your behavior. That's why it's structured for your behavior, but not for your spiritual development. Anyway, I'm getting a little, this is going to be on that other thing. But that's why us, the true ethical motherfuckers, we're living it. It's almost like every actor knows this. Or let me just say the great ones know this. They know the minute they become their character, they're no longer acting. That part I'll say again, because this is a little bit deep. And that's why you'll see too, a lot of actors too, man, they are in tune with life in so many words, because they have to play them. I mean, what I'm saying by playing them, whatever character that they are, I mean, they get to, you know what I'm saying, they get to experience them on a whole different level. I mean, it's not a surprise for me to listen to, let's just say, Denzel, and they always talk about this shit, especially him, because his career, his development, I mean, this is all in it, man. Yo, I tell you guys this, man. When I first started doing this, I remember I'm like, what the fuck? No one is around here. I wasn't as comfortable as I am now. You know, no one is around. It's almost like, you know, I used to have a lot of ideas, and the second I get behind the camera, and it's like those ideas just, I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that to say, can you imagine now somebody doing porn and shit? But the idea of what I'm trying to say here is that there was a level of you would have to get to know yourself, to embrace yourself. Now, for the camera to no longer exist, then you have to become that character. When you see Jamie Foxx became Ray, he was no longer Jamie Foxx. That's what I meant, if you didn't catch it. So that's why for you now, you need to adopt the Godhead mentality, meaning your actor now is gonna, your character is gonna be a God character for you to elevate. Now, the character you're gonna be playing in your life is gonna be this God character, which is in you. So as you're doing this God character now, it allows you to adopt a higher mentality. I am God. Not just saying I am God in the sense of trying to belittle other people, but you knowing who you are, the ability that you have. You also understanding that you are the way. If I don't brush my teeth, who the fuck's gonna brush it for me? I mean, yes, you could have other people doing it, but get the gist of what I'm saying. If you don't take care of you, who will? Even that's why even your kids, you dressing them up, you teaching them how to be them. That's why as a parent, even the whole baptism, that's what you're doing. The celebration is to let them know that we have received it on this side. This is you talking to the other side now. Letting
The other people know we receive them on this side. Now we're gonna take care of them, give them the wisdom that they need for them to become like us, or even to know where they came from, or their true self. The whole when you're holding the kid, like the whole, I'm walling. I was trying to, I'm walling. I was trying to do the whole, it's not the Sinbad movie, not the whole Lion King shit. I can't recall. Anyway, it'll come to me because I used to do that shit. It'll come to me. But anyway, um, you need to adopt that character. So now that character, that's what's gonna bring the best out of you. This is what we're telling you to seek for the kingdom of God, to adopt the Godhead mentality. Then we're trying to help you to see it in nature. The conflict that takes place in nature, and then it happens in your life. Then when you start seeing those patterns, and then you adopt that in your life too, then now, this is what I'm saying. That's why even in those stories, you'll see when I talk about Job, Moses, these motherfuckers went through hell. And God, for that sake, Abraham was that fucking old. I mean, you'll give him the kid, and then you ask the motherfucker to kill his kid again for you, motherfucker. It's all about you, huh? Yes, it is. But now what I'm referring to, this is all on a fucking energetic level. Because if you don't see it from that way, I mean, from that perspective, well, God is just fucking. You already know it's His ways or nobody's ways, and His ways always work. We say it all the time, but what does it mean, though? That's when you have to self-sacrifice yourself. Oh, speaking of self-sacrifice, I was making a point, going back to the fucking the Prestige. Do you see how it's all coming together? You know what I'm saying? I gave you the pledge. I gave you everything. now, let me give you the Prestige. That inner quality of yours that you need to upheld. High. Extremely high. Because it's you. There's nothing done without you. I mean, without you, how useful are you to you? I'm just saying. So again, going back to the movie real quick, let me just finish it. And then, what the fuck was I talking about? What was it about the movie? Right? And then, he was saying, so he was sent to look at the guy's trick to try to figure it out. How did he do it? And then what he realized was, and then he told the guy, here's the thing. He didn't have to do much. He saw it for what it was from the beginning. And that's what it is to know the truth. I don't have to delve do you understand what I'm saying? Having been a seer, why would I need people to come tell me certain shit and this is how you should look at other people too? People will tell you who they are, but not verbally. So you got to see it in them. And because you have to see it in them, so that means you have to go beyond what they look like. You go beyond what they're saying to you. Man, okay, I mean, you sorry, you love me. You know what I'm saying? When you know, you know. That's why when you operate from a knowing perspective, you're speaking from authority. That's why these motherfuckers who the fuck Jesus think he is? Because he was speaking from his heart. Over here, people don't speak from their heart. You speak based on who you should be. You have an image. You fake. In other words, what they're saying is, hey man, we fake over here. You real, this is an issue. Who gives you the authority for you to be you? And now, let alone to say you God's fucking child. Like, what about us, motherfucker? And like I always tell people too, a lot of you always take this shit like you just nigga. If I were to tell you I'm God, it's the same shit that Jesus was saying. How would the Pharisees, the scribe, know that this motherfucker was different? He looks like them. Do you see how it's the same shit? You know what I'm saying? Whereas, where it's different for you though, let's just say if you're talking about your Jesus, like I had this bitch, man. I had to tell her, come on, man, stop it. So, those Jehovah Witness motherfuckers, right? Motherfucker came here, knock on my door, whatever. Okay, it was nice. It was just the one time. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't even say too much. I listened to what they had to say. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they're doing God's work. Meaning, that's what the fuck I'm doing too. Although the level in which I'm doing it is different. That's why for us, that's why I never really, listen, man. I just don't want to give it away. Yo, you got to check out that recording because I got a lot of things coming. But anyway. So it's like, do you see what I'm saying? It's like, how you forcing God in me, motherfucker? Like, how you doing that to me, man? You know what I'm saying? Isn't it? It's, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, what I'm saying, that's why I know this shit is for the livings. I'm not for everybody. This message is cannot be for everybody, because not every message is gonna be for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just like I was listening to this thing, which I really like. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you give a fuck about people who like you or not? You don't like everybody. Why would I give a fuck about who likes me, who doesn't like me? Or better yet, why would I want you to like me? Here's the question. It's crazy. It's stupid. That's why I tell people, when you don't choose you already lost. And you'll never enter the kingdom of God because God is within you, right? Isn't it not? That those testimonies that you're looking to share with other people, it's something you have to experience. So do you notice the self-sacrifices that existed throughout the whole Bible? From Abraham that had to sacrifice his only son, then from Jesus to having to sacrifice his own life. Self-sacrifice, going back to what I guess can't recall the motherfucker's name because I saw that movie a long time ago. But anyway, somehow I was able to make this connection. When he was saying, self-sacrifice is the only way for you to get out of this. And by him touching the saint, he was making the point of revealing the material world. It's self-sacrifice. But truly, it's being said a certain way, but truly what this is ultimately talking about, even the self-sacrifice, it's truly your elevation. It's you shedding off your layers. Or this is you attaining your highest level of consciousness. It could be said so many different ways. And by you stripping the shit off of you, and this is you seeing beyond the layers of yourself. In other words, you knowing who you truly are. Do you see what I'm trying to tell you? This is why, listen, man. That's why there's no God without you. And to understand, this is a living matter. That character, you have to become that character. The minute you become the character, you're no longer yourself. And that's what we mean by the Godhead mentality. That's what you're adopting by learning about the how God works. God's work is not. It's not. We say it all the time. The, aren't you guys are saying God's way is not man's way? So if that's the case, when you acknowledge God's way, then what does that do to you? When you adopt God's way, if you understand the way you operate, then it makes you different. You know, godlike, Krishna-like, Buddha-like, Christ-like. Just saying. Become like him. You become like them. That's what Christ-like is. To be Christ-like is to be just the same way Jesus elevated, you elevated too, motherfucker. The same way Buddha woke up, you waking up too. Then you become Buddha-like. So again, this is all practical matter. And that's the shit you got to wake up to. That's why it requires for you to open up your third eye, because now you get those downloads. It's your personal information. That's why spirituality is your way to go. Because only you, when you go to, nigga, only you can elevate. And what, I mean, Albert Einstein was saying, you cannot solve a problem with the same state of mind that created the problem. This motherfucker was telling you to tap into your God side, your higher side. Now that have the answer, that's gonna. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, why you gotta look at it from a different perspective? Who the fuck you talking to? Like, what side of you are you digging that shit into? Well, sir, excuse me. If you're saying if I couldn't solve the problem from the like, why do I gotta look at it from? Do you see what I'm saying? Again, when you understand all that shit, it all makes sense. And even what he was talking about was a deeper level of you. Because this motherfucker was revealing some of the things as a scientist that he got to realize about himself. And that's what makes him so incredible. But also when you understand that too, the true scientists, the true alchemists, the true magicians are us, the spiritual people. Because we understand how life works and we understand ourselves as well. So when Jesus was telling you until your fucking righteousness exceed that of theirs, I mean, this is facts on top of facts on top of facts. Because their righteousness is right in the open. Looking for people's validation. They're not what they're saying that they are. And do you know how you know? Because they are people pleasers. I am what I say that I am because I'm living my life. Not because I'm trying to suck somebody else's dick. Not because I'm not going to say what I feel or what I think until somebody else say what they say. So now we buddies. It's behavior. I'm accepted. I'm good. That's behavior based. That's, where those ethical motherfuckers, that's what Bill Cosby was. That's why this motherfucker wouldn't say, fuck. Do you notice the people who are who they are? Listen, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like this nigga, man, like, why did you have to cheat these people, man? If you were just being yourself, you got money, you want to fuck bitches, bro. There's bitches that are looking to be fucked. Do you know that? There are hoes out there. Or you can even pay them too. But because these motherfuckers are not being who they are. That's why Floyd, like, I fuck with this nigga, man. I really like him. I like this dude. I don't give a fuck what other people say about him. I love this dude, bro. This nigga just himself. He does what you want. Just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, too, man, what the fuck are you going to say about him? You can't look at, you know, which is different from fucking Kevin Hart. How would you feel, let's just say, or how would you even respond to, let's just say you heard Floyd Mayweather fuck a couple of bitches? Or he had his girlfriend and then he had a girlfriend on the side. You wouldn't say shit. He been doing him. You know what I'm saying? This nigga got a whole... This nigga, that's what I would know. This nigga was a real nigga too, man. This nigga got a whole fucking thing where he had like strippers that were just bouncing. Like this nigga was just enjoying himself, man. And shit, I'm not gonna lie to you. As I was watching the show, I'm like, play. You know what I'm saying? Because there's also a rhythm, and this is where a lot of women, man, when you grasp yourself too, man. You see, like when these bitches are twerking, there is a vibe that comes with that. Now imagine when you embrace your femininity. Anyway, you know, this nigga was just enjoying himself, man. You can't tell him nothing. But now when you have a guy like, let's just say, like Kevin Hart, not, you know, going at the brother, you know what I'm saying? But because he understands that he's a symbol, he got to do this, he got to do that. You know, there's a certain behavior, like there's a certain way that people are looking at him. The minute you become that, you're no longer yourself. And you're going to be subjective. Everybody else becomes your master now. Like, if you're asking me, like, this nigga got a bitch and then he got another. I mean, is there anything that niggas don't do? Like, what? What the fuck? How new is this to you? How much of a shocker is a nigga having a bitch then have another bitch? How much of a shocker is that to you? But for him, it was, though. Do you see what I'm saying? Again, what life are you living? You're suffering. That's why that kind of life too, man. And I definitely get it. You burden. You gotta be burdened. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You all fucked up. You don't know what you want. Like your whole life is just a fucking... I mean, you all fucked up. Literally all fucked up. Anyway, man. I mean, again, it's helping you to understand how you truly operate. The narrative means a lot. You know, that's why you need to have an idol, because it is an inspiration to you. It brings the best out of you. When you cultivate beauty, well, you reflect that into your life. When you see rich people buying, like painting, they're buying beauty. Understand this, they're buying beauty. Adopt beauty into your life. Luxury has nothing to do with money, baby. Has nothing to do with it. You know, and again, going back to the whole Jesus shit, like, again, to the whole behavior shit, you didn't, in fact, his behavior was totally different. This nigga went to the temple, he was chasing people after, like, this is his God temple and shit. Who the fuck this motherfucker think he is? And then now you want to blame these other... Do you see how fucked up this shit is? Then now you want to... Because of your delusion. Now you want to blame, let's just say, if you want to talk about the Jews or whatever the fuck. Whereas you are living in that reality already. You blaming them because they couldn't recognize Jesus. Okay, good. But if I'm telling you I'm Jesus, would you embrace me, or would you be like, oh no 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 no, no. Come on now, Jesus is Jesus, right? How is that different from these motherfuckers? Because ultimately, what Jesus, the message, even when he tells you, until your righteousness exceed theirs, you're not in the kingdom of God. Meaning, it's got to be inside of you. And he's also telling you, these niggas are doing something, but whatever the fuck they're doing, the kingdom of God doesn't require. I mean, that's why the behavior shit, and even too, here's something else too. I mean, you're always going to struggle with it because you're not being you. That's why for you now to adopt, if you want to have, that's why the true ethical motherfuckers, we don't talk about it. I am the truth. So therefore, because I'm the truth, because I know who the fuck I am, I embrace myself, man. So having integrity, it's a norm to me. I don't have to tell you I got it. I'm living it. In fact, you'll see it. Oh man, In fact, you'll see it. That's how you know when you could be like, yo, this is a good dude. This person energy, man. And that's what Jesus was. And anybody who adopted that mentality, who became that, well, your energy is going to be the same no matter where you go. And people will feel the same too about you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people, when I meet certain people, they tell me, you're a good person. If anything, I'm talking about dick and pussy, I'm this, and that. Like, I met this bitch, she was smart. She was a smart bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm talking about all guys, she's like, nah, you're a lot smarter than what you appear to be. I'm like, what? What do you mean? What you mean, bitch? Like, you want to fight or something, nigga? What the fuck, nigga? You want to fight, bitch? I'm going to show you who I am, bitch. Who you are is who you are, man. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's why, for me, when people are gossiping about me, I don't even ask. You know what I'm saying? All I got to do is just show up. Let them say what they're saying about me. All I got to do is show up, and I don't even have to say a word. The energy speaks for itself. And even in what I'm saying too is reflecting that. I suck my own dick, nigga. That's the only dick I suck. And with this dick that I do suck, which is my own dick, it's DD all the way through, baby. It's just DD all shit. I suck my own dick. And see, the thing is, once you do, ironically, what a lot of people think in terms of, you know, you want to be selfish and that. And like I always tell people, man, selfish and self-love are two different things. When you're selfish, selfish has to do with your external self. You only look at the benefit from an external perspective. As a result, you step on anybody's toes. If you want it, it's the physical shit. Now, self-love on the flip side of it is totally different. Now you got to realize those divine qualities in you, and as you acknowledge them within, it allows you now to acknowledge it in others. That's why we say real recognize real. because it's from the within. Now they're able to see it in themselves. When they see it elsewhere, they can see it. A fisherman recognizes another one from afar. Hardworking man knows another hardworking man. Because when you become successful, you know it takes failure for you to become there. You have to adhere to yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? Or if you want to say game recognized game, however you want to put it. So that's what self-love allows you to do. And not to mention you loving yourself on a whole deeper level. Psychologically understanding now, yourself as a whole is that you're not just loving the physical side, but also the spiritual side of you. Because now you truly understand your elevation. You know what I'm saying? It's through God. It's through those divine qualities that you have. That's why when you know God, really, nobody has to tell you not to steal. And this is what I was saying, and I think in one of my recording, I can't recall which one it was. Shit, I got a few by now. Shit, I guess I've been working. But, what I was telling people, it's like, oh yeah. Now I remember. I was talking about the choosing yourself. And how your parents, from you being a kid, you wanted to get their validation, their say, they help you in your decision process. And especially if you have parents, and this is where your parents will definitely fuck you up. Especially if they're not fully developed. Do you see what I'm saying? Like the same thing you do for a child physically, that's what you should be doing for them in life. Meaning, as you dressing up your child, you helping them how to dress. That's how you are their guides. Not for your shortcomings, not for them to fulfill your dream that you didn't fulfill for your fucking self. Because if, again, see, there you go. If you didn't accomplish the things that you were supposed to do for you, now you're projecting that on somebody else. See, this is why it's important for you to understand your essence. But again, spirituality is your life. Because there's nothing of what I'm talking about here that you have not seen, or maybe you probably didn't grasp it on a layer or the level that I'm helping you to see it. Because by holding that mirror, what I'm trying to get you to see is that non-physical aspect of things that are taking place. And this is why, in so many words, I deal with the occult. Spirituality. This is not, what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get you to get ready for a world that you don't even know about. How the fuck do you live one life for another life? And even when I was talking about the whole self-sacrificing, don't get it fucked up. You bearing the fruit of your self-sacrifice in this life. Other people are trying to get you to go to heaven. I'm trying to help you to bring heaven to you. I'm trying to help you to materialize, to manifest heaven around you. And that's the difference. So one is behavior based, meaning you're gonna sound like those scribes, those Pharisees. They speak a certain way. You gotta, in order for you to, I guess, to be, validated. Whereas when you choose to be you, man, it's different. Totally different. Like for me, I say fuck. I don't give a fuck to be shit. Does that take away from what I'm talking about? Does it really? It may. But if it does, it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with you. Just like to me, when I look at Eddie Murphy, I'll give you a perfect example. I see a genius. But when Bill Cosby was looking at him, you know what I'm saying? It was looking at a nigga holding his dick. Although he didn't say it, but by calling him and telling him that this is how it should be, again, to act a certain way. And that's what you have. So the behavior structure type of knowledge, that's what you see with the scribes and the Pharisees. And then slash your society and everything else. The internal conflict that's taking place, the suffering, and this is what had been created from that world of understanding, which is pretty much the world that you're living in. And I'm not referring to the trees and nature. I'm talking about the world that we're living in terms of the understanding of that world that we have that makes us, that creates this reality for us. That's what the Gnostic is talking about. That's the world. That's what even the Matrix is talking about. That's the fake world. That's the world that we created ourselves. And then society now is doing all that shit. Then you live in, this is the Matrix. You don't see the truth for what the fuck it is. You don't even know you. And that has been the message. Either you get it through motherfucking movies or motion pictures, or you have guys like me now. We're all doing God's work who now, you know what I'm saying, as a spiritual healer who's telling you that shit. Then you have other motherfuckers who have books. Then you have our ancestors. The message is the same. Do you realize, that's why this knowledge too, you got to wake up to it. It's nothing you didn't hear before. Or maybe you may want to hear a certain quote that will just open that up in you. Regardless of what your situation is, I'm trying to get you to see, man, like the kingdom of God is actually within. And for you to thrive, man, like your righteousness have to exceed that of theirs. Because what they do, it's validation. It's people pleasing. And there's no self-development in people pleasing. I hate to be a bearer of bad news for those of you. You know what I'm saying? But those of you who somehow felt the urge and, like I did, and you follow that urge, this is for you, baby. You'll get all the clarification needed for you to embark to your journey or for you to grow. But anyway, I think I'm going to leave it here, guys. So technically, going back, just to summarize real quick, this is a fucking, from how it was structured, for you to acknowledge the differences in those righteousness. But also, there's no bigger righteousness, there's a lesser righteousness. Either you're righteous or you're not. And then what he was talking about, truly, we're trying to get you to see, the ultimate righteousness. And when you truly become that character, you have activated yourself. You have activated that God head or that Godhood in you. And that's what we understand. That's why, you know what I'm saying, like we would also have those statues too around you. This is all part of you conditioning your own mind. That's why you want Jesus to be you, or you to be Jesus. Then now you will be a product of quality instead of now being a product of quantity, meaning now you're seeking for validation. How many people you have no prestige? You have you, no flavor, dog. I mean, your flavor is gonna come with you. Cause listen, man, anybody who found themselves, man, you know you're gonna find your flavor, baby. You know what I'm saying? Cause once you find you, you can't say it the way you can't sell it the way that I say it, nor can I do it the way you do it. Now at this point, shit, I'm gonna have to be the best version of me at all times. So again, this is nothing new, man. But at the same time, it's very much new, you know, as you waking up to it. You know, then you will have that state of realization. That's what enlightenment is. We all gotta be enlightened. That means you gotta see it for yourself. That's why nobody can save you. You know what I'm saying? We can only show you you. That's why I'm holding the mirror of wisdom. When Jesus tell you I can show you the way, he can only show in you you. Because whichever way he's showing you, it's gonna be you. Because you're the one who's gonna have to have faith, is it not? You're the one who's gonna have to do whatever the fuck that has to done. If anything, he's telling you how to pretty much move out of your own way and allow God to be, which is also again you. Meaning, well, not necessarily, you know. Bear with me for a second. What I meant to say is that acceptance. That's why you are in God, and God is in you. I mean, I'm not claiming to be God or be like God. He's. That's why I tell you guys, I believe the same thing you believe too. But the only difference is, like, I know. I mean, I feel like God is outside of me. I feel it, but then I realize this is how big God is, because it's in me. And that part of outside of it, I mean, of me, it's really me. Because none of it makes. I mean, if I don't agree with it, I agree to it. Do you see what I'm saying? So, however you choose to dissect it, you're gonna have to put that in there. You know what I'm saying? How no, no how however like you're deciphering the whole shit, you're gonna have to factor that one in. You see what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. You know, so live the true life. Spirituality is not about a life that you go somewhere else and escape this fucking reality. No, that's why it's called you transcend transcendental knowledge. It helps you to transcend the world. That means you go through. You go through. Then as you transcend, guess what you're doing? It's like you're here and you also in other world. That's how for me I know, like I could feel like when shit, you know, the universe becomes my body. So you truly become, you know what I'm saying, that spirit in this world, like you really see you for who you are. That's why you'll see some of those movies. In fact, uh, uh, Johnny Depp played in that. Was it Transcendentalist? Was that what it was? Or Transcendent? I can't recall the name of the movie. But then he died and became that. You know, they were able to transfer his consciousness into this thing. And then the movie was about transcendence. That's what you become. Where, I mean, the point of the movie was, you know what I'm saying, it's not like he was still alive even though he was not in his body. Then when you realize that about you, even if you are in your body, you automatically transcend your body. That's how, when we say you transcend the world, you don't suppress it, you embrace it. That's how you go beyond it. The only way, the only way through is gonna be through, baby. The only way beyond is through. But anyway, again, I guess I'm just gonna leave it here, guys. It really comes down to your essence, man. Do you know who you are? And the pleasure about this, as you're learning to how, as you getting to know who you are. I mean, those are the layers that you're going through, right? But that's part of the life experiences. That's part of the journey to discover yourself on a whole other level. You know, to transfer that little consciousness into now, you know what I'm saying, the world consciousness. That's what you're going to become. And as you're doing so, come on, man, your gift's gonna come with it. You know what I'm saying, and everything else. You become magical as your essence is, as you are. You know what I'm saying? It's always right because now your consciousness has pretty much expanded. What the fuck do you think the readers do? They're reading energy. I'm one of them. I understand. I know. You know what I'm saying? Those waves. That means I see beyond your motherfucking physical self. I could read your soul, bitch. But anyway, I'm saying all that to say, all that. What all we're saying is, I mean, it's you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not shocked. For instance, when Jesus told the guy, I knew what you were doing before. It comes with it. I mean, when your level of consciousness is expanding that way, I mean, it definitely expands. Meaning it goes beyond the physical too. Then now you understand, to grasp or understand anything, you gotta go beyond it. Meaning that's why you never, if you want to see or understand anything, you never go closer to it. Because the closer you look, the more you're gonna miss it. That's why you have to know the spiritual laws. The reason why you got to know the spiritual laws, the Indian call this world Maya, meaning a world of illusion. Things are not what they appears to be. Meaning, if you want this here, and it's standing right in front of you, the minute you go and grab it, just like this, you're not gonna grab it. Because it is an illusion. But if you want to grab this here, you go this way. And that's what the spiritual laws does for you. The spiritual laws now help you. You see this, you want to get it, you go this way. You want love, love yourself. They didn't tell you to go, I mean, is that selfish? You know what I'm saying? I mean, when they were talking about self-love, it wasn't talking about selfishness. You want love, love yourself. And loving yourself means you're truly loving on you. You're living your passion. You're doing you. And as you do so, guess what? You're going to find the person that loves you because now you're loving you. You're following your path. And that's the best way for you to express yourself too. Now, through that somebody's going to look at it like, I like this one. You know what I mean? So, hey, sexy. See, a lot of people don't want us to come together, baby. I'm saying they're saying you truly gonna love me. They don't want me to find true love. Like you want me to cry. Yo, think about this, man. I mean, I know I'm laughing about it, but this is how ridiculous it is. This is the world that we're living in. You have unhappy people who do not want you to be happy. Do you see how sad that is? I mean, it's almost like, I know for me, it's almost like, that's why I was saying, like, well, without giving too much away about me, it's like, I was pretty much, I mean, for me to be a healer, I had to be raised around abuse. That's why your blessings, everything you got is with you. You know what I'm saying? Again, what is bad could be good, man. Your treasure is in that pile of shit. But if you don't want to smell it, you don't want to, touch the shit, you're not gonna find your treasure. Yeah, man, come on now, baby. You gotta have buckle up, man. Yeah, man, you gotta wear a mask, do what you gotta do. You gotta put your hand through that pile of shit, man. Your treasure's in there. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to choose you. Nothing can be done without you. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why you say, you send your kids to school, thinking that they will get a better education. That's the gist behind it, right? But here's the thing, though. Without knowing the spiritual laws, you know what I'm saying? True, only one knowledge is your true self. When you don't know you, regardless of how much you know, it's not gonna make sense. Because you can't see how we are all connected. So therefore, even what you think you know, you won't even understand it properly. That's why when Jesus was telling these motherfuckers, like, you can't even see what's in front of you, that's because you don't see what's far. I mean, you got to look at it not from a close perspective. You got to look at it from the divine perspective. And that means those spiritual laws. That's why, you know what I'm saying, we understand this. That's why you got to love you. It's totally different, you know what I'm saying, because when you respect yourself, man, you're going to act a certain way. Like for me, think about it. Bro, if somebody don't want to talk to me, you think I would want to talk to that person? Let alone, talk to me, I want to be your friend. What? You know how desperate that is? How much you don't even, like you worth nothing. You a piece of shit. And even doing that on top of it makes you more of a piece of shit. I don't know. That can't be me, bro. Like for me, if somebody, you even look at me wrong, nigga, I like, nah, nigga, get the fuck out of here. You even look at me wrong, nigga, like, what the fuck? Who the fuck this nigga think I am? You know what I'm saying? The fuck? Do you see it? Like when you embrace you act differently. But when people who don't love who they are, come on, man, you could shit on their face, or even them too. Like it doesn't matter. Forgiveness. What? What kind of forgiveness is that? Not the forgiveness that I know. That's fucking being a pussy. That's being stupid. I ain't stupid. Why would you forgive somebody and then they're gonna do it again? That's why I always tell you guys, man, forgiveness is for you, not for them. It's for you. Meaning, that's why they trying to get you to be mad, because when they get you to be mad, because now you become like them. And that's another reason too. You don't fight evil with evil. It creates more problem. You never fight evil with evil. And that's why you'll see, and history can back this up. Even the countries that you felt like, think about it. Okay, even America, who became the symbol of freedom, right? They wanted to be free. They fought the fucking, uh, uh, um, these niggas all the same anyway. Them fucking London niggas, you know what I'm saying? The Britons, they fought the Britons, and then guess what happens? Then now they oppressing you. That's just the way it is. The same thing with the Haitian fucking independence too. You don't fight evil with evil. I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You got to protect yourself. This is when too you have to forgive. Now, protecting yourself have nothing to do with, I mean, you know what I'm saying? But fighting evil with evil, what I'm trying to tell you is, it's like, let's just say if I wanted to make sure that what I'm saying, let's just say it's the ultimate truth, and let's just say, I don't want you to read the Bible. Fuck, nah, why would I say fuck the Bible for? Why would I say that? That would be fighting evil with fucking evil. I would tell you though, you gotta read it from a spiritual perspective, from a Godhead perspective, because from a spirit perspective, because the spirit brings life into what you're reading. And even your own fucking scriptures says it to you. The letters, I mean, I can't recall. Was it Paul that says that shit? Was it in Ephesians? I mean, I can't recall. I mean, was it an Act? Anyway, it's one of these books. This motherfucker was saying, it may have been Peter. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was an Act. And then this motherfucker was saying, the letters kills, but the spirit brings life. So when he was talking about Jesus, that's how you gotta look at Jesus. Do you see how this shit is right in front of you? But then, because you're looking at it from a behavior perspective, even that type of righteousness, it's not even ethical. And whoever is acting that way, just like I tell you, their inconsistency is crazy. I mean, they're never, that's why I always tell people too, man, you gotta watch out. The motherfucker, like, you don't curse, you don't, I mean, not to say you have to, neither. But being yourself, though, it doesn't matter. That's what I know. Which means, if it's you truly being yourself, saying it doesn't matter and not saying it doesn't matter neither. But anyway, man. Let's just, close it up. I mean, we talked about so many amazing things. I hope that your righteousness is going to be a lot better than what society is showing you. The type of duty that they telling you, trying to get you to do, I hope your duty or self-worth goes way beyond that. And this is why too, man, and what they do, it's not spiritual development. It's just a behavior. It's controlling your behavior. But not your spiritual development. That's why you'll see a lot of these people, they have not fully grown or fully who they are. But they're still hiding because that's their conditioning. That's what they know. In fact, Bill Cosby had this one skit, or I guess episode, where his was it Theo? I don't recall. Wanted to do something that he loves, and then this motherfucker was saying, man, you know what I'm saying? You got to be a lawyer. You got to be this. You got to be that. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Listen, now he's teaching you society, and then this motherfucker's fucking your girl, dog. You see what I'm saying? Whereas you have a guy like Eddie Murphy, man, fuck you, nigga. Like I say, nigga, I say all that shit, but who ain't doing none of that shit. You have to understand the science behind this. That's why true ethics, we don't talk about it. Nor am I seeking your validation for me to, it's almost like for me to be good, it's like you gotta let me know that. Nah, man, that's how people control you. Not me, motherfucker. All right, so, hey, if you think I'm a good person, that's good. That's good. I already know myself. Or if you think I'm a bad person, well, shit. If me knowing I'm a good person, you saying that to me, I don't give a fuck. Think about if you were to say I'm a bad person. Nigga, I really don't give a fuck. I really, 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 really don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, I'm sucking my own dick. I'm responsible for my life. And that's how people get to project. I mean, they're projecting themselves through you, you know, trying to get you to accept what they want you to accept for yourself. But anyway, we're going to leave it here, man. So understand this. To find the kingdom of God, you got to choose you. Because it is within you. So therefore, you know, that's how the Father and the Son, you are in the Father and the Father is in you. Meaning, as you are experiencing this, you could experience and feel, you know, those divine qualities in you, you know, at the same time, but yet you know, you feel how great it is. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like you feel it's outside of you. It's not you, but yet it is you. I mean, the fucking communion, the unification, the yoga, the yin and the yin, the connection, the father and the kid, I mean, and the son. Listen, man, it's definitely to live for. It's worth living for. You know, and not to, oh man, there's so much that comes with that, man. Your connection with the universe, and not to mention your ancestors. Oh man, let me shut up. But anyway, always remember this, man. Quotes is definitely the way to go. I mean, if there's gonna be any type of shortcuts, I mean, that's gonna be it. The amount of knowledge that's in it, man. Listen, man, feed yourself. Feed yourself, and you can also use it as a form of meditation too. I know for me, I use the I Ching. Oh man, that's another one. These motherfuckers, man. Anyway, just know for you to be you, nobody else can be around. And what hurts your feelings, you know what I'm saying? It's what really hurts or you know hurts your heart could definitely open up your eyes. Do you see what I'm saying? So therefore, man, listen, man. Anything that is good could be bad. Anything that is bad could be good. You know those rules. Know those spiritual laws. That's how you open up your vision here. Because those are codes. Those spiritual laws, you know, are they telling you how shit works. Don't be a cretin, man. Don't be hard-headed out there. And we're gonna leave it here, man. I sing. My late.